Hello, my caring people. Welcome back again to another video. Today, today, I want to talk about catfishing a physical therapist. And before we get into that, I would just like to say thank you for the subscribers that I've gained, and I would love to know what brought you over to this channel. State your claim in the comment section. For those of you who have been trotting on this journey with me, welcome back. And for those of you who are only just watching but not subscribing, please consider doing so. It's free. All right. Now, don't mind my hair because it's crazy looking, but guess what? It looks crazy just like how I feel. And I must be real crazy to do what I did. Okay? All right. So, as you can see from the title, I catfished a physical therapist. No, okay, let's get started.
ARING spells Karen. Karen?
That's me. No, as you all know, I have an elderly friend. You keep going to the physical therapist, but guess what? It's not doing you any good. You need to let your husband rub your back out. Now, anything that has to do with sex, she doesn't want to hear it. It's as if I don't know, but she doesn't want to hear it. She always cursing me out. So because I know she don't like it, I keep doing it. But this particular time, she wasn't shutting me up. She wasn't hanging up. She wasn't getting mad or anything. She kept on repeating everything that I was saying. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I'm gonna keep going. But in the background, I heard a man's voice, and I distinctly heard him say, "Who's that? Your friend? I would love to meet her. She sounds very festive." Now, me being in the mood to mess with somebody, I said, okay, I'm going to go right ahead and mess with his ass. So I said, give him the phone. So she was like, no, I'm not giving him my phone. It's COVID time. What do I look like giving my phone? So I said, okay, you're right. So I said, give him my number. She was like, nope, I'm not giving him your number. Then he said, okay, give her my number. So, all right, that was it. Fast forward 2 days later, I decided to call him. So when I called him, I said to him, I said, hi, how are you? He said, hi, is this the lady from the physical therapist, her friend? I'm like, yes, it is. Indeed, it is. My name is whatever. And we started talking. So I started asking, I said, how old are you? Of course, that question was asked at the physical therapy place by her, and he told her he was 50. But all this time, he is 58 years old. Right. Listen, I'm not looking for anybody, so he could be 100. It doesn't matter. All right. Okay, so I'm there and I'm sitting and we're talking and we're vibing. So then he started asking me, what do I look like? So I said, what do you want to know? I'm not older than you, just know that. So then he said, what do you look like? I said, what do you mean? What do I look like? He said, your features, your complexion. What complexion are you? I say, I'm black, blacker than midnight. So then he's like, oh, okay. Then he's like, what kind of nose? How big are you? Like what's your size? Some says. So I said, I am wider than those blue barrels that you send home back home to your country. He's like, okay. I say, you seem like the person who is very much into looks. But you should know that looks is not all that counts. Then, after all of that, homeboy went on to ask me, how wide is my nose? What kind of, no, he says, no, he didn't say that. He said, what kind of nose do you have? I said, what do you mean? What kind of nose? Like, what do you mean? I say, I got a nose that I could breathe through. What do you mean? He's like, is it straight? Is it wide? I said, okay, all right. Let me explain to you. My nose is so wide, it goes from ear to air. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay. I could see that. I could see that. I'm like, so remember now, I'm wider than a barrel. I am pitch black and my nose goes from ear to ear. He said, "Yeah, that's what happens when you got when you ladies are real pretty. You usually give the worst description of yourself." I said, "No, believe you me, I'm giving you the perfect definite description of myself." So later that evening, I went outside. So I said to him, I said, "Listen, give me FaceTime me so you could see exactly what I look like." So he's like, "Oh, I'm not ready for the camera light." So I said, "Okay, push back number one." So I said, "You push back," to myself. I'm saying, he pushed back. I'm going to push back when he asked me a question. So when he was ready now to see what I look like, when he asked me to send him a picture, I said, "No, I don't have any pictures to show you. Plus, I'm not ready for the cameras either." So that was my pushback. Then he started saying, "Oh, so how am I gonna know what I look like?" So I said, "You send me a picture, and then I'll send you a picture." He's like, "Oh, I don't know how to use my phone." Guys, in this day and age, and he's not old, how are you not gonna know how to use a phone? Give me a break. Physical therapist office is like not even 4 blocks away from me, but I didn't let him know that. So he asked me, "Where do I live?" Now he lives like 6 blocks away, and I live very close, and so does my friend. But I tell him that I live at 171st Street and the Grand Concourse. That's real far. Also, when are you gonna come and see me? When you come over to my house? I'm like to myself, night when he was like, "I don't know what you look like." So I said to myself, fair enough, I'm gonna send him a picture. So I got on the internet and I picked up 2 pictures and I cropped it and I sent it. The next day he was like, "Oh my God, can you send me a more recent picture? That picture looked kind of young," which I must say it did look young. So I said, fair enough, I'm going to send him something that's a little bit older. I said, so for the description how I described myself, I look for a picture just like that fit the description that I gave him to send to him. So he's like, "Okay, okay, you are, but you're not as dark as you said you were." I said, "Maybe it's just the lighting on the camera." All right. So the next day he's like, "Can you send a more recent picture to me?" I'm like, "Yo, you're asking for too much. This is just too much. Stop freaking asking for all these things." Because up to now, I haven't seen you. So the next day, 2 pictures came in of him. Oh my God. Ugh, I wanted to throw up. I'm like, maybe he's playing the same kind of games that I'm playing. But I say, I would know if his pictures are the real deal. I'll just have to ask my friend. Don't use her judgment, because she's like, "Oh, he looks good." I told her the picture that I had and showed it to her. She said, "Yeah, that's him." I said, he's ugly. I don't like what he looked like. He looks terrible. Remember now, I told you that I said I was catfishing a physical therapist. All this time, I'm thinking my friend was there getting her massage. I heard her making a noise like, oi, oi. What were you doing to her? He's like, "Me? That's the physical therapist." Then he went ahead and said, "Oh, that's why when I go there, I tell him don't use that shit on me because I be hurting days after I leave there." I said to myself, "Ain't that a bitch? He's not a physical therapist." I'm like, when was my friend going to tell me that he wasn't a physical therapist and he's just a patient? Now she's pushing me to talk to him, which I have no intention of talking to him. I called her up and I said, "Listen, did I tell you I'm looking for somebody to be putting Bengay and hot water bags on? Girl, please don't play with me." She said, "I didn't tell you he was a physical therapist." I said, and you didn't tell me that he was a patient either. Stop playing. You play too much." Every evening I would come home, he would talk. He was like, "Oh, when you're coming to see me?" I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "I'm never coming to see you. Stop asking." I was always like, "I'm busy. I got to do this. I got to do work." Another thing, I asked him what he did for a living. And he's like, "Does it matter?" I'm like, right ahead. Something went into my head and I said, He was more upset about me not sending my picture. So I said, "You know what? I'm going to step my game up and I'm going to send him a more recent picture of myself." Went back online, got a more recent picture, got a picture on the beach in a bathing suit in a big, thick, voluptuous girl. Nice. Got on her weave, nice flowing hair and everything. I might insert some pictures. Maybe, maybe not, because you know what, guys? I'm scared because it's not me and it's somebody else. I don't want to get copyrights, but I might probably insert pictures and cover it. But guess what, guys? I forgot to crop the pictures properly. And the site where I went to go find the pictures had everything. The night I sent him those pictures, he didn't say anything. And the evening, I'm like, oh, he didn't call me all day. What's going on? He must be upset with me because I'm not sending him any pictures. So I called him. He's like, hello. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, you think I'm a damn fool. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, those pictures you sent to me was of a model. And you telling me you took those pictures on Jones Beach? That's a beach in Venice. I'm like, really? I said, listen, stop playing with me. You asked for pictures and I gave you pictures. If you don't believe that's me, well, that's on you. He said, are you a model? I said, what does it say? Whatever it says on the picture, that's whatever, that's exactly what I am. Okay, that's what I do in my spare time. He was cussing and carrying on, and I'm like, okay, now your true colors are really coming out. He's like, oh, I apologize, I apologize. I said, up till this day, I don't know what you look like because I keep telling him that I did not receive the pictures of him. So as to push back, saying that I don't know what you look like and you don't know what I look like. So let's just keep it at that. Anyway, I went to work and I'm telling my friends about it. And then one of my coworkers said to me, you're a damn catfisher. I'm like, really? You think so? She said, yes, you were catfishing. And that's when it dawned on me. I said, let me come and give y'all this story to let you know the time I catfished a so-called physical therapist. Okay? And did I mention that his voice was to die for? It's like when I first heard him on the phone personally, it was like a baritone type of thing. And I'm like, whoa. His looks, not having it, don't want it. That's it. If he calls, I'll answer, but I won't be calling him again. So, guys, what do you think? Am I a catfisher or not? Did I catfish somebody? Let me know exactly how it works. I don't think so. 5, 6, 7, 8.